The Russo Brothers' Electric State has us divided. One of us thinks this is a visual masterpiece with heart, and the other thinks this is a CGI fueled mess with a bunch of plot holes. Now, the question is, who's right? Let's break it down. Starting off, I did not like this movie. I I very much did not like it. But start off with what I did like, because there are still some things I did like that I did find redeeming. The CGI and the visuals in this movie are fantastic. They are incredible. This movie has a 320 million budget. I will say I think they spent a little bit too much, but it definitely shows. The visuals are top notch. And my favorite character, well, my favorite actor in here was Giancarlo Esposito. I really liked his character and the development he went through. I thought that was very well done, seeing him be this hardened army, who was a sergeant, no, colonel, and then as he evolves through the movie, as he's this antagonist. I really liked his ending. I think it makes a lot of sense, and that was very fun. But I do think perhaps the best part about this movie, besides its visuals, are the fun robots that are scattered throughout the movie. I mean, you have Mr. Peanut, you have this Sonic looking robot, you have just a wide variety that when you look at them, you think it's funny. You think it's a bit funny, as some of them do look a bit goofy. But after that, when you start diving in more into the story, into the characters, it lost me.
Okay, so first of all, bit of a background on this. I did with this movie what I normally Griff and I have sort of an unspoken rule. We watch one teaser trailer, that's it. I saw every trailer and even some TV spots that this movie came out with. I've seen all the interviews that, Chris Pratt and Millie Bobby Brown have done, and I just was like, this fucking sounds like I'm gonna be bored for 2 hours. This morning, and I just told Griff this before recording. I had half a mind to be like, dude, can we just skip this fucking movie, man? It doesn't look like I'm gonna dig it on any level. But about 5 to 8 minutes in, I was like, all right, I don't know what it was about the brother that I dug and the sister that was sending him off to college. There's a war that breaks out, but then they introduce these two characters at the beginning, and it's almost like, yeah, so they just start talking about this robots being mistreated, very Matrix like, and there's a war, and then the war's over, and then all of a sudden, I didn't know, or maybe I missed that part. Griff, if I did, please let me know. Well, all of a sudden, like Michelle's like living with this like fat weird dude, and I'm like, that can't be her dad. I got that vibe as soon as I saw that dude. I
That's
was
not
like,
her
that
dad.
can't. But I was like, what happened? Of course, they do explain later, but it left me kind of like, why the fuck did they just not explain that with the whole war story? Because I'm wondering, like, where's the kid? Like, you know what I mean? But once that happens, and we really get introduced into the character of Michelle, um, a tragedy that befalls her family, and she embarks on this quest, and she meets this weird fucking little robot that her brother used to be obsessed with the cartoon of the robot. I dug the robot. I just dig robots, man.
Robots are
And then
cool.
she has to, embark on this bigger quest where she ends up ultimately. I wasn't sure what Chris Pratt was going to come into this movie. They introduced him early on as a soldier, and later on when we meet him, he's got like this gimmick where he like steals a bunch of robot shit, sells it to like normal people, but he's working with the dynamic between him and his little robot.
That is pretty good.
I just thought that was some of the funny, like the whole refrigerator thing. That shit made me laugh because I don't know. Did you notice that the shit was unplugged?
Yeah.
But like before he noticed that it was unplugged,
Oh no, 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 no.
I saw that it was up. So like as soon as he's like, God dang it, the fridge is broken, and his burrito went bad, and but he still wanted to eat it, his Salisbury steak, and then he was like, dude, did you unplug the refrigerator and not plug it back in? I was like, I wanted to yell at the TV and be like, bro, your shit's unplugged, man. That's why it's all melted. Thought that was funny because the robot's like, yeah, truth be told, I did that. Then they, come into contact with Millie and her, I mean Millie with Michelle and her robot, and I Giancarlo Esposito's in this movie, and God damn it, every time I see him, I just get reminded of how Marvel fucking dropped the ball with him. Because even here, this is more. I don't know if this movie at times is a family, night movie or like an action-packed movie, kind of drama, and then Giancarlo's in here and he's so serious in his role. He's like, I gotta just, hunt down robots. I don't care. And he's a heartless prick. Um, Stanley Tucci's in here, and he's one of my top eight favorite actors. That dude he's been in Captain America. He played almost 80-year-old. He did great there. He did great here. He plays this. Let's face it, he's Steve Jobs. That's essentially who he is. He's a heartless dick, but I buy into it. I even like that scene where, and I knew it was, that virtual reality helmet where he's with his mom, and she's like, "I'm making stuffed peppers." I knew I was like, "Oh, he's got his thing on." And as soon as it started glitching, I like the movie, man. I'm probably rambling on, but I had a great time with it. I'm wondering, as Griff and I always shoot the shit before we record, did we even watch the same fucking movie? Did
I don't
he?
know.
Did Netflix like? You know what I mean? It's because he doesn't like it at all. He's burying it under the sand, and most of the critics are. But I dug this movie. We will watch it again later on tonight, when my daughter's home.
Damn, you really
Uh,
liked it.
yeah, no, my wife's like, we got to watch it later on when our daughter gets home. We make it like a late night, pizza night, and so that's the plan for tonight. I I just think it's a fun movie. I don't know, guys in the comments, let me know. Is it because I'm a dad? Is it because I have a family and Griff's just more? Well, he's not single, but he doesn't have that same commitment. Is he looking at it from that angle, or am I diving too deep?
It could be. I'm diving too deep. I do agree. There are a couple of moments I did laugh aloud. I thought most of it was the humor wasn't the best. It was still good. Like I said, I did laugh aloud a couple. My favorite joke in the movie was at the beginning during like the news clips, and it was like during the war, and then all of a sudden this soldier just shouts, "The robot's got a barbecue!" And this just barbecue just come flying out of nowhere. I did think that part was funny because it caught me off guard.
I like when what's his name? Chris Pratt's character, he's explaining to Michelle how he and his robot meet, and he tells his version, and then the robot's like outside carrying him. He's like, "Nah, dude, that's not what happened at all. You were shot. You had your thumb in your mouth. You were crying like a baby." And then Chris turns back and he's like, "That's actually what happened." I thought that shit was funny.
I don't know. I don't know
Um,
if I like. I don't know if because usually that is
Him
my
being
sort of
hungry
humor,
all the
but
time. How I thought that was funny because
no,
I've known Griffin for a long time, but I don't think he knows this about me. I'm hungry all the goddamn time. Like when he's like, ordering a cheeseburger and it turns out all they have is beans and Twinkies, and then grabs this Twinkie and he smothers it in beans and just eats it and runs out. I would have done that. I would not have left on a fucking adventure on an empty stomach. I thought that was funny. He tries to play the lone dick wolf guy, but he ends up caring for this girl mainly because his robot's like, dude, that's a dick. We can't do this. We got to help him out. I thought that was funny that his robot's the voice of conscious.
yeah, I didn't get a lot of that at all from the movie. I didn't care about many of the characters. I didn't get too invested in any of them. I didn't think they were really that compelling. I felt like Chris Pratt just kind of played Chris Pratt, and I don't know if I've seen too much of him or what. It's just this may have
I'm
just been
never
the
gonna get
time I
enough Chris
just
Pratt.
didn't like
I told
it.
Griffin, I think Chris Pratt and I could hang out.
Oh, I believe it. It's just I don't know. This movie felt so generic. It has like the same plot as any other robot versus human movie. I mean, it's almost the same as their creator, but just kind of just a lot worse. I think that the characters in here had a lot of things very conveniently handed on their lap, and then there was like a lot of points where they have to travel these huge distances, and then they do so, and of course just like one cut, but then they don't adjust for the time dilation from or not time dilation, but the time passing in for other characters, so it's just a bit weird there. I think this movie it's based on a book. The book I think went
This
into it a little bit more and had a bit more exposition and where
as
they're
books
able to
do.
fill in a lot more of these gaps. So this cut from event to event as they just are pretty much going on a destination hunt as they say we have to go here, now we have to go here, and have to go here as they find clues and continue to go through. I do like a lot of the robots, but I think once you peel that back, and I am looking at this extremely analytically, I don't know why. I think Edward's right. it's just kind of what I do. And he has a family who's looking at it for like, will his kid enjoy it? I 100% think I'm the one reading too much into it. It's just it wasn't that enjoyable. I don't think the acting was too great either. I think they kind of played themselves. There's nothing wrong with that, but I feel like in a lot of scenes they felt very flat and they didn't necessarily portray the emotions they should have. I don't know.
I didn't get
I
that. I've seen Millie Bobby Brown in most of the things that she's done
I've also
because my
never been a
family
huge
and
fan of Millie Bobby Brown.
we,
Never really liked her.
we're fans of the Stranger Things franchise. I don't get Elle vibes whatsoever. I've seen some people like, she's essentially playing Elle. I didn't get
No,
that one
I
damn
don't think
bit.
she's playing like else. She's playing like herself.
I can't remember her character that she played in Godzilla. But no, I think she's a talented young. I know that a lot of people have a lot to say about her personally. I don't know her
There's
personally, so
nothing
I
wrong
don't know
with
if
that. I
any of
think
that is
people are
shit
just
is.
trying to find shit to
Yeah,
hate about her. I
I think she's a. Let's cut the shit. There's a lot worse actresses than Millie
Oh,
Bobby Brown,
absolutely.
and she's got a lot of personality. I'm still I still really just want to see her as Princess Leia. Yes, I'll be frank, because I don't think I'm the only one that thinks so. She looks like a young Natalie Portman. But also because I think she could carry, a story. Chris Pratt, I just think he's funny. Is he essentially playing himself? Kind of, but I'm a fan of the dude when he was fat and chubby and,
I
Parks and
loved him in Parks and
Recreation.
Rec.
I just think the dude is solid, man, and it's funny because he's got kind of a gut here in this movie. I don't know if that's maybe like a suit or something, but I just think he's funny in a way that his the lines he delivers, they're they're done well. There's a lot of like humor that doesn't really land, and this did for the most part. I enjoyed it. I think the robots work. The CGI, I didn't have an issue with it.
Oh yeah, no, CJ
We've
is
seen
amazing.
we've seen shitty CGI. I've seen a lot of stuff online. I want to close with this. I've seen a lot of stuff online that, the movie hadn't even come out. It didn't come out till today, till midnight last night or whatever. And a lot of people are like, oh, fucking Russo Brothers, and now they're getting, Secret Wars and Doomsday, and they're gonna ruin it. Slow the fuck down. Those dudes gave us some of the best Marvel movies that there are. They gave us Winter Soldier, Civil War, Infinity War, and Endgame. Let's give the dudes a chance. Outside of those, I haven't seen anything that they've done. This is
They're
probably
all
the
bad.
only
They're all bad.
un-Marvel project that I've seen, and I enjoyed this one. I haven't seen the rest of their shit. I don't think I'm going to because I've seen what they're about. I'm not interested in it. This one I only saw because Griff's like, "Are we doing it?" So here we are. I enjoyed it. I will be watching it again tonight.
I feel like since this movie just didn't have much going for it, I just rated everything a bit harshly with it, but just I didn't have fun with it. And parts I thought I would enjoy, I didn't. I did enjoy the robots, but I felt like there were much better alternatives than this because this is just it's I don't know. I think this is just incredibly generic and there was really nothing going for it. Let us know what you thought about Electric State. Are you on Edward's side or did you not like it like me? And if you enjoyed this movie, you want to see more movies about humans versus machines, go check out The Creator. It's a very great movie. It's very similar to this and also quite visually stunning. Thank you guys so much for watching.
Take care, guys.